Hello again, everyone. Joe Hutzler with you here for the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, another weekly edition of the Weekly Sting. We'll get to our guest in just a moment, but first let's recap what's going on in Hornet Nation. On Tuesday night, the men's soccer team fell to Virginia Wesleyan 2-1 in overtime thanks to an own goal. The volleyball team fell to Randolph-Macon last night 3-0. Jennifer Garrett led the team with 10 kills. Those two teams have their season ended, but the women's soccer team will continue and play in the semifinals this coming Saturday thanks to a 10-0 win over Randolph. 7 different goal scorers. And now we get to one of those players that was on the field last night, and we bring in Tess Frelick, our first guest of the show. And Tess, let's talk about the game last night. Let's talk about all the action you saw there in net. One of the things we talked about during the broadcast was obviously you leading most of the categories in goal stats, but you don't lead the saves because you just haven't had that many opportunities. Yeah. Tell me about that defensive line in front of you.
Well, it's pretty much the same as last year. We had an injury to Gabby in the middle of the season, so Alexis stepped in. We have Alexis and Nat out wide and Emily in the middle. I don't know, they're all just very solid. I mean, if you could switch all of them, I think I'd be okay. So they do most of the work for me, so I don't have to do that much.
Now, this year is a little bit different. We've talked about it with some other players, but you guys aren't coming in as hot as you were last year. Obviously, you faced some adversity. Do you think the adversity you faced throughout the season with the losses, with the ties, is actually going to help you in the playoffs?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even though we won all of our games last year, we definitely had rough games. And so it's just this year, our rough games, we didn't pull out the victory necessarily. But we know how to, it's good to have those close games, so we know how to go into overtime. We can figure out how to win in bad situations.
Talk to me about your preparation as a goalie. What goes through your daily routine when it's game day? Maybe you can tell us about your pregame meal. You can tell us about practice. What is it like for Tess Frelick, who we don't get to talk too much about her because she's usually just hanging out in the other end of the field?
I really don't do anything special. I mean, I'm not running around that much, so I don't always take my meals seriously. I mean, last night I had a ham sandwich for dinner, but I mean, yesterday we trained with Relly, the men's coach. Just got some touches before the game. I just make sure, it's more like the day before during sessions. We get a lot of shots, get our hands on the ball. Other than that, I really don't do anything special.
You don't do anything special?
Not really.
Okay, well, that's all right.
I just keep it regular so that it's not, I don't know, I try not to get too hyped up.
Are you superstitious at all?
A little. I mean, I put my left shoe on first and my left glove on first.
Okay, always?
Other than that, yes.
No matter what?
Yeah.
Now, do you also wear certain types of shoes on game days?
No, I have the same cleats. Oh, yes, I wear my Crocs.
I was getting to that. What's the significance of the white Crocs? Why do you do that?
Most of us have game day shoes, and I just thought it would be funny to have Crocs, and Tori told me, she's like, oh, you have to get white Crocs. So I got white Crocs.
Are they actually comfortable?
Yeah.
I've never worn them before.
They're awesome.
Okay, I may have to invest in some, but we'll see. Let's talk about some other things that you are a part of off the field. Let's talk about the idea of coaching for you. You coach soccer and basketball at New Covenant. How did you get involved in that?
I think it was my sophomore year. Coach sent out an email and asked if anyone was interested in coaching their JV soccer team. I wanted to take up that opportunity. At home, I do some goalkeeper sessions, so I just wanted to parlay that into more of a overall team coaching. And then basketball is my second love, so I asked if I could just help out, and that's just transformed into me becoming the JV coach there.
Did you play basketball in high school?
Yes.
What was the deciding factor between which one you wanted to continue to play?
I played soccer at a higher level. It was easier to play at like an elite level of soccer compared to basketball. Okay. So that's pretty much the deciding factor.
What do you gain out of your coaching experience that helps you on the soccer field as a player?
Well, I think as a goalkeeper, I have to know every position, and I have to be able to help everyone in every position. So being able to coach and seeing it from the sideline, it's the same as seeing it from the goalkeeper's perspective in my mind.
All right, makes perfect sense. And do you do anything else athletically on your own time, other sports that you play, maybe hobbies that you have?
I play club basketball here as well, and then I play in an adult softball league, which is a lot of fun with my friends' dads. Our vacations are usually hiking, so I like to be outdoors and hike. About it.
All right. Well, let's move on to a little bit of a a more serious note in terms of your career and your future, you are a criminology major.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be in law enforcement when you get out of school?
Not sure really. I just always, it's just something like inside of me has always loved it. Like I remember when I was like in 3rd grade, I wanted to watch CSI. So something about me has always found it interesting. I think I like figuring out stories and the puzzle of it. And I know I won't be happy sitting at a desk all day.
That's a good thought. I don't like that either. So do you want to be more on the forensic side of stuff, or do you want to be out there
more on the law enforcement side, so against criminals?
Okay. So you would go to the police academy and go through all that. And you had a pretty cool internship this past summer in Philadelphia. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was at the district attorney's office in Philadelphia. I was in the juvenile unit. I mainly worked with the paralegals, so I was just preparing the cases for the attorneys all day. But I got to read all of the cases. I got to attend court a couple times. We had other opportunities to go to the police academy, and we saw a bomb demonstration, a all the SWAT equipment, and a K-9 demonstration.
Wow, and seeing all of those things, which is the point of internships anyway, seeing all those things kind of reaffirm this is what you want to do? Yeah,
I now officially know I don't want to become a lawyer. I already knew that before, but I definitely don't want to now. But I really liked the K-9 officers. I mean, I love animals, so I kind of saw myself maybe leaning towards that a little bit too.
The idea of being a lawyer, was it mainly because of the reading? Because that's why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page there, because I'm with you. The reading part, certainly not fun.
Too much school.
Yes, you can have too much school. All right, let's move on while we've got about a minute left, and let's talk about the game coming up on Saturday. Playing Virginia Wesleyan, 12 o'clock here, a team that you just played at the end of the regular season, 1-0 game, and that one came down the last 10 minutes. What has to change from that game to this game to be a little bit easier of a win?
Well, we know what's coming at us now. So they subbed a lot, and they played high pressure for all 90 minutes. So we have to be able to handle that high pressure, play fast through our midfield like we were last night. If we play fast, 1-2 touch, we can get more opportunities at goal. So we just need to create more opportunities for ourselves. I mean, I don't think they were too threatening offensively towards us. So we just need to be a little bit more threatening, and we can come out with a win.
All right. Well, we certainly wish you the best. Congratulations on making it back to the semifinals, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
When we come back on a Weekly Sting, we will hear from senior field hockey player McAnally. Later on the show, of course, the Hornet Trivia. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone, to this week's edition of the Weekly Sting. Before we get to our next guest, let's give you the Hornets trivia question. And this week we ask, with another ODAC title, women's soccer would tie the ODAC record for consecutive championships. Who holds it now? Stick around for the third segment, which will give you the answer to that question. In the meantime, let's talk to senior Megan McAnally of the field hockey team. Megan, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you taking the time out. And let's talk about the team to this point. You guys are second in the ODAC tournament, so you earned a bye until Friday, till tomorrow. What about this team for you as a senior? You've been on 3 previous teams. What makes this one different than the previous 3?
Yesterday we had a team meeting, and I had told the girls that this is my favorite team that I've been a part of in all 3 years that I've been here. There's just, with the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, we just all are very cohesive, and we all get along really well, and it didn't take us long to find that natural team chemistry. And I think that was what was really important, and what was really good for us to be so successful in the beginning of our season was we just automatically had that chemistry really well.
You guys have great depth, and you've shown that a lot with the ability to play freshmen late in games. What does that do for your confidence as a senior, not just now, but moving on and knowing that this program's in a good spot?
It's nice to know that they're, like, leaving is hard, but knowing that our team has such depth on our bench, and also with the freshmen, we have so many freshmen that are even starters. It's really great to just see that they're going to be perfectly fine without us, and we can go to grad school and just be cheerleaders and know they're still going to do really well.
They'll miss you, at least for a little while.
Just me. I'm just kidding.
Just you. This week, obviously, playoffs get started, and one of the traditions that you guys have is the cornrows. And as you can see, what is the thought process behind that, and how does it work? Because I know certain years have to do a certain amount of cornrows.
So we had an alumni come to our alumni game like 2 years ago, and she asked us, do you guys still do cornrows? And we were like, yeah, we do. And she goes, oh, we started them. We were like, thanks. So it's been like a 30-some-year tradition.
Wow.
So the freshmen do their entire head straight back, and then sophomores can do their whole head straight back, and they're allowed to have a design. Juniors only have to do half their head, and then seniors only have to have one braid. Okay. So as you as you get older, you get to do less.
Well, that makes it sound like it's a hindrance. If you guys...
No, I mean, I only had to have one, but I started four.
To not have to have as many cornrows now.
It's interesting. It's an interesting tradition we do, but it's really fun, and everybody just knows, and it's a really good team cohesiveness to know that they're on the field hockey team because they have cornrows in their head all week.
So why 4 for you?
Just looks good on the side of my head.
Okay.
I want to do my whole head for tomorrow and Saturday. So.
Okay, so when we see you play, it's going to look different.
Hopefully.
Okay, hopefully. Now, I heard Huberger is the best cornrower.
She did the whole team. Well, a girl on the basketball team did mine, but she did all 24 other players.
Wow, okay.
And then Kayla did Ashley's.
There's something for Huberger to put on her
Great cornrower.
Great cornrower, yeah, absolutely. More about this team in this week. You guys are going to play a Bridgewater team on Friday at WNL that is pretty much one of the hottest teams in the ODAC right now, the way they finished their season. You guys beat them at Bridgewater earlier this year, but it's been a while. How much of that game can you take from them and place it on the game tomorrow night?
Well, I think just for them, they've done really well, but so have we, and we've also played other teams that were just as ready as they are, and I know we are just taking this one game at a time, and we're really looking forward to seeing what Bridgewater brings, but we're also preparing really well for it. So.
You mentioned the word prepare. You guys are playing at Washington and Lee, which is an AstroTurf field, different for the ball, different for you guys running around, but you guys have done a little bit to kind of get yourself prepared and actually going over to Liberty.
Right. So this morning and on Tuesday, we've woken up early, and we've gone over to Liberty, and we've practiced on their AstroTurf, so that's a much different surface, which I also think was one of the factors that played into when we played Washington in the regular season. But practicing there and getting used to the surface is definitely, especially scrimmaging, getting that field play has really been important for us, getting adjusted to it.
What exactly makes it so different when you're out there?
It's a lot faster surface. So where we have regular field turf with the beads, the ball rolls a little bit slower. It's more almost like grass, but a faster grass. But the AstroTurf is more of a carpet, so the ball rolls a lot faster, has a different balance, and our feet move a lot quicker.
Okay. Well, at least you've had time to play at WNL and play on Liberty, so that hopefully will work out in your favor.
Only hope.
7 o'clock tomorrow, by the way, for that, and we'll have highlights for you. I'm making the trip myself. So
Yay!
It's gonna be fun. Please make it worth it. Please make it worth it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some stuff off the field.
Okay.
You're from Virginia Beach, and therefore, I think it's no secret when people ask you, well, what do you do? What do you like? Oh, I like the beach. Is it because you grew up there, or is it just a beauty about
Well, I was originally born in Texas, so El Paso, which is very western.
Non-beach.
It's very, desert cactus. So when we moved to Virginia Beach, my mom was like, do we want to stay in Texas? Do you want to go back to Texas, or do you want to stay in Virginia Beach? And we were like, no, we want to stay by the water. So that's also really fun, just to be close to the water, lay out, hang out with friends.
Now, you one of the photos that we have is of you with one of your teammates, Catherine Rogerson. Do you guys meet, not just you and her, but even other members of your team? Do you guys go?
Yeah, Catherine and I went to the Outer Banks this summer. I went with her family. My mom came down for the day. And also, last summer, we had a tournament in Virginia Beach where a few of the players from Delaware, it was me, Becca, Catherine, Alyssa, and Kayla came from Delaware, and we all, I think Meredith came. Yeah, Mary came. And it was a bunch of us. We all just played in a tournament in Virginia Beach, so that was a lot of fun, too.
That's really, really cool. Now, of course, being around that area, you're close to, not too far from Norfolk, you're in the naval base and all that going on, and you actually are thinking about maybe getting into the Navy or Air Force after school?
Yeah, so before I committed to play field hockey for Lynchburg, I actually had a full ride ROTC scholarship to Old Dominion, which I turned down so I could play field hockey for another 4 years. So, you know, it's been worth it so far, so let's hope we continue the championship league. So.
What's the thought process? What's the drive behind working in a health administration field?
So I was a nursing major my freshman year, and then I wanted to do more of, like, the business side of the health field, so that's kind of where I have, like, my business minor in play. And then I just want to take that extra step in, like, being a leader and, like, serving my country and either going into either, like, the Navy or the Air Force. So.
All great qualities to have, and, of course, we wish you the best of luck once that happens. And actually, you'll see her around. She's hoping to get her master's next year at Lynchburg College. So we can't get rid of McAnally just yet.
One more year. You got me another year.
One more year. Final message. We have a few seconds left for everyone that is going to support you guys at the game. What's the message Coach Steele's giving you all for the game tomorrow?
One game at a time.
One game at a time.
We got to take it one game at a time.
That pretty much sums it up. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, they will take on Bridgewater at WNL for the ODAC semifinals. Megan, thanks so much for your time. I'll go ahead and shake your hand. Absolutely. When we come back, we'll hear from junior goalkeeper for the men's soccer team, Cory Budka, right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Weekly Sting. Joe Hutzler with you, the voice of the Hornets, as we bring you this show every single week to highlight some of our athletes and coaches. Before we get to our third guest, let's get you the answer to the Hornets trivia question this week. In the last segment, we asked, with another ODAC title, women's soccer would tie the ODAC record for consecutive championships. Who holds it now? Randolph-Macon. They had 6 straight from 91 to 96. If the women would win this weekend, they would have 6 straight as well. And let's look ahead to the upcoming schedule for this week for the Lynchburg Hornets. We mentioned in the last segment, field hockey is playing at WNL against Bridgewater College Friday at 7 o'clock. Number 1 women's soccer will play Virginia Wesleyan 12 o'clock. That game can be seen on LHSN. Field hockey championship is Saturday. The women's soccer championship is Sunday on the ODAC title. Now let's bring in Cory Budka, the junior goaltender for the men's soccer team. Cory, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on, and let's talk about the season for men's soccer. Obviously ended in a disappointing way, but let's talk about the entirety of the season. Ups and downs, definitely a good start to the year, a little bit of a rough patch, and you guys finished pretty strong. What's your overall take on the growth that the team had throughout the season?
So we had a very young team this year. We fought through a lot of injuries. We fought through quite a few red cards, both on the coaching staff and on the player personnel. So anytime you have a mix of that, you're gonna have new players step up. You're gonna have leadership come from different areas, and I feel like we showed that at points in this season. And that's all you can ask from a young team, is to show glimpses of that success and then hope for a growth from that in the next season.
You mentioned obviously the growth in the youth. You're a junior, so you'll be back, and from your perspective, seeing all that happen this year make you feel pretty good about next year's team?
Yeah. So as a goalkeeper, having confidence in your back line, especially when they're young, is a big deal. So having the confidence that they're all going to come back better next year is going to be huge for me, and allow me to do more of what I do in the back in the net.
Let's talk about what you do as a goaltender. What do you go through as far as your process? What was really the drive from you in your life? Why did you want to be a goaltender?
So I like to give my all for everything. So when the guys call on me and ask me to make a save, I want to do it for them. So when I don't do it, I feel like I let them down. But I got to work through some things with Relly. We've worked on things about not getting so hard on myself. So it's definitely a tough position to be in, being the last line of defense, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on the field.
Talk about the ability to have somebody like Michael Relaford as a goaltender's coach who had a successful career here, obviously, at Lynchburg College, and someone that can, not just from a technical standpoint, tell you how to work on some things, but as you just mentioned, some personal things as well.
Right. So anytime you have someone like Relly where you can have a mentor both on and off the field, what to do, classes, how to set up schedules, getting the pit sessions in, which are the personalized training sessions that they run for us. It's a huge help having that. He's a great resource for mental aspects of the game, what to tell the team in certain situations, what to do, where I should be. So anytime I can draw from that, I take full advantage of it, and he's always there to help.
The idea now, of course, in the off season is to get better for next season. What is the schedule, if you will, for someone like yourself? When do you really get into practicing for next year, or have you already started?
So the great thing is we get to practice with our team until the national championship game. So we do take a few days off, usually a week, maybe two, and then we like to get back out there and take full advantage of the coaches all the way up until that national championship game. Then it's on Coach Ed Smith in the weight room, getting us in the springtime. We get out there when we can by ourselves. So this will be big, having leaders step up off the field to get those pickup games sorted. For me, I think I was thinking about next season after the game. So, and that's something that I think a lot of the players are already doing. Is we're ready for next season to be here, but we got a lot of work to get done before then.
Yes, you do, and that will be a way to look ahead to next season and a point of reference for you guys when you're getting motivated for the year to come. Let's talk about some stuff off the field. Talks about some things that you enjoy. One of the things that you and I talked about, exchanged through email, is your love for the Ravens and the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, you're from Maryland. Is that basically the reason why, or is it because of a certain player?
No, that's the reason why there. I have taken liking to certain players in the program there. So Dennis Pitta is my favorite. I imagine him as like the goalkeeper of tight ends because he makes those big catches that you don't expect. And unfortunately, they haven't been doing as well this year, but that's all right because I'll still support him.
Well, I will let you feel a little bit better about it because I was there last week. I'm a Chargers fan. That was not my proudest moment to watch that happen live, especially. Also, which really is no surprise. I mean, you're a growing boy. You're in college. You like food, as do I. But you like to try foods from places that have been featured on TV. Why is that?
So I like to experience like the best of what's there. So a lot of times when places get featured, that's their main dish that's being featured, and it's usually the best one there. So, and I like food, but I like good food. So even though I won't turn down a plate of food, and most of the guys can tell you that, but I think that being able to experience things like that and different experiences like that will help you grow. So.
Have you ever had a bad experience where something was supposed to be good but it wasn't?
So I had squid one time, and I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was, and unfortunately I won't be eating squid anymore. So
I think I can just, without even trying it, take your word for it, and I'm not going to try that either. Real quick, your career goal in life after college would be what?
So luckily through some internships in DC, I've been able to kind of fulfill this a little bit. I want to work with crime on an international level. So I'm going to be getting a computer science minor and a criminology major. And so I want to work kind of like computer forensics and help fight crime on that level. So.
Well, we certainly hope that you help us out at some point, somewhere down the road. We know Cory Budka's got our back at some point. Thanks so much, Cory, for coming on. Really appreciate your time. Congratulations on another good season, and we'll see you around, of course, next year. Thank you for tuning in to the Weekly Sting this week. Next week, we will have more guests and more fun, of course, the trivia. As always, we'll see you next week.